would you please rise for the academic procession and remain standing for the singing of O Canada?
Good morning. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you, Faith. Faith Sparrow Crawford is a talented singer from Musqueam, and we are very happy to have her join us here today. Please be seated. Representatives of the board, members of faculty and staff, honored guests, welcome to snəw, leləm, Langara College, and thank you for joining us today for the installation of our fourth president and CEO. My name is Krisha Dhaliwal, and I'm the first Vice Chair of the Langara College Board of Governors, and I will be the Master of Ceremonies today. Please be aware that this ceremony is being recorded for viewing in other locations on campus and on our website. On behalf of the snəw leləm community and the entire platform party, I wish to acknowledge with respect the history, customs, and culture of the Coast Salish peoples, specifically the Musqueam people, on whose traditional, ancestral, and unceded lands Langara is located. At this time, I would like to introduce the members of our platform party. I'd ask that you please hold your applause until everyone has been introduced. Dr. Paula Burns, President and CEO. The Honorable Ann Kang, Minister of Advanced Education and Skills Training and Member of Legislative Assembly for Burnaby-Deer Lake. Michael Jaworski, Chair, Langara College Board of Governors. Maria Alonso, Langara College Board Governor. Chief Wayne Sparrow, Musqueam Indian Band. Gail Sparrow, Musqueam Special Advisor to the President. Alec Dan, Musqueam Band Member, Cultural Leader, Coast Salish Main Singer and Dancer. Dr. Joan MacArthur Blair, Co-President, Cockle MacArthur Blair Consulting. Michael Lee, Member of Legislative Assembly for Vancouver-Langara. Mary Lynn Baum, Second Vice Chair, Langara College Board of Governors. Janelle Dwyer, Langara College Board Governor. Jane Mason, Vice President, People and Culture. Michael Koch, Interim Vice President, Administration and Finance. Yusuf Varachia, Vice President, External. Marg Heldman, Interim Vice President, Academic. Melissa Roberts, Langara College Board Governor. Rose Palazzi, Langara College Board Governor. Dr. Leslie Brown, President and Vice Chancellor, Yukon University. Professor Santa Ono, President and Vice Chancellor, University of British Columbia. Dr. Neil Facina, President, Okanagan College. AJ Patel, President and CEO, Vancouver Community College. Dr. Samantha Lenchi, Interim President and CEO, Lethbridge College. Corrine Roth, Vice President, People and Business Services, Lethbridge College. Dr. Joanne Curry, Vice President, External Relations, Simon Fraser University. Dr. Deborah Schachter, Interim Associate Vice President, Students. Dr. Julie Longo, Interim Associate Vice President, Academic. David Cresswell, Associate Vice President, Strategic Transformation and CIO. Ishan Malhotra, Diversity and Inclusion Representative, Langara Students Union. Rosie Woodley, Chair, Langara College Administrators Association. Dr. Pauline Greaves Aylward, President, Langara Faculty Association. Arnold Clark, Registrar. Dr. Elizabeth Barbeau, Dean, Faculty of Social Sciences and Community Programs. Darren Bernhardt, Interim Dean, Faculty of Arts. Dr. Susan Kelsall, Dean, Faculty of Management. Gerda Kraus, Dean, Faculty of Science. Dr. Ann Syme, Dean, Faculty of Nursing. And Pablo Vargas, Dean, Continuing Studies. I would also like to recognize our special guests who have joined us in the audience today. Donna, the partner of Paula. Darby, Paula's son from Edmonton, Alberta, and her other children, Ashton and Chantal, Carlene, Kelson, and Donna's son, Christian, who are unable to attend in person. The friends and colleagues of Paula. Tammy Harkey, counselor, Musqueam Indian Band. Gordon Grant, counselor from the Musqueam Indian Band. Ann Lippert, past chair, Langara College Board of Governors. Claude Painter, past Langara College Board Governor. Sarge Dhaliwal, past Langara College Board Governor. Norman Olenek, Faculty Emeritus, Kinesiology. Peter Prontzos, Faculty Emeritus, Political Science and Interdisciplinary Studies. Christy Charles of Musqueam and President of the International Indigenous Hip Hop Awards and Murdered and Missing Indigenous Women, Girls, and Two-Spirit People Social Policy Planner at the City of Vancouver. Dr. Martin Gerson, Vice President Academic and Provost Emeritus. Jas Sandhu, Board Director, Langara College Foundation, and past Chair, Langara College Board of Governors. Consul General of India in Vancouver, Manish. Consul General of Ireland in Vancouver, Frank Flood. Susie Chen, Deputy Director General of Taipei Economic and Cultural Office in Vancouver. Colin Awert, President of BC Colleges. Dr. Randall Martin, Executive Director, British Columbia Council for International Education. And the representatives from the staff from the Langara Students, representatives and staff from the Langara Students Union. I would now like to invite Alec Dan, Musqueam band member, cultural leader, Coast Salish main singer and dancer, to bring traditional territorial greetings.
Good morning, everyone. It's an honor for me to be here with you this morning. Kind of nervous because usually my chief does the welcomes. And sometimes I go and, on other occasions, to represent our community, our people. But it's such an honor for me to be the voice for our people at this time, to not only welcome you to today's wonderful celebration, but to welcome you to the unceded territory of the Musqueam people, descendants of Musqueam ancestors. When we hear visitors coming into our territory, we used to meet and greet our visitors at the mouth of our river, what is called the Fraser River today, because our visitors would be traveling via canoe from the island, our friends and relatives, or coming downriver from up the valley. So that's why I say it's such an honor for me to be the voice for our people at this time, because we used to do it as a whole community, from our youngest to our elders, get ready in our wonderful, best dressed, to share with you a little bit of who we are as Hualmoch Mistimoch, people of the land. We had 30 villages throughout the greater Vancouver area, used all those villages for different resources. Some of our people resided in those villages. So that's why it's always such an honor for me to be the voice, and especially with, my chief and council, a few of my chief and council here with us in presence today. Usually they're the ones that are out here speaking on our behalf. But, to welcome you here with these wonderful words of welcome, I'd like to share a welcome song to start everything off in a wonderful, good way. And it's our Musqueam welcome song. And there's words in our Hunkaminam language, and the words translate into English, welcome respected ones. So with that, I'll share this song with you also. Haichkasiam. Musqueam, Haitsep, Musqueam Nisiaya. So once again, on behalf of the Musqueam people, welcome you here and really thank you, Langara, for building that relationship with the First Nations people of the area, the unceded territory, and continuing that friendship and relationship with Musqueam. So thank you once again. Haitsep, Musqueam Nisiaya, Haitskasiem. Thank you.
Thank you, Alec, for that important greeting. We value our relationship with Musqueam and appreciate your participation today. I'd now like to invite the Honorable Ann Kang, Minister of Advanced Education, Skills and Training, and MLA of Burnaby-Deer Lake, to say a few words.
Thank you so much, Krishna, for the introduction, and thank you so much for this beautiful beginning. It is a great honor to be here at Langara College for this event, and I'd like to recognize that we are on the beautiful traditional territories of the Musqueam and the Halkalimanim-speaking peoples. I would also like to take a moment to acknowledge Chief Wayne Sparrow with Musqueam First Nation joining us here today. I am Ann Kang. I am the Minister for Advanced Education and Skills Training and the MLA for Burnaby-Deer Lake. Today's event is a celebration to welcome your new president, Dr. Paula Burns. And it's also to acknowledge the leadership shown by Acting President Youssef Varachia, who will be returning to his position as Vice President. Dr. Burns is Langara's second female president, joining founding President Linda Holmes. This is exciting and excellent for Langara's work towards diversity and representation of women in leadership positions in higher education. Dr. Burns will guide Langara College into a future full of promise, fostering a campus that embraces diversity and that provides a safe, supportive learning environment for students. She brings over 25 years of academic leadership that has prioritized Indigenous learning, student-led success, with a focus on diversity and inclusion. Langara College has made great strides towards reconciliation, and under Dr. Burns' leadership, even further progress will be made. Dr. Burns has a strong proponent of positive culture building, and she brings with her a keen eye for seeing greatness within students and their community. I'm sure the more than 23,000 students at Langara will benefit from her direction and her leadership. Langara is fortunate to have such a strong candidate come forward to lead students, faculty, and staff. And as Minister for Advanced Education and Skills Training, I am proud to support the efforts of your new president and the vision she brings to this great institution. That vision, complemented by the passion of staff and faculty, will continue to keep Langara College strong and build a close and compassionate community. As a partner to Langara and to the incoming president, government is proud to support your efforts in ensuring the student-centric nature of this great institution. Like you, Dr. Burns, I am committed to ensuring the best outcomes for students. That commitment has been shown through targeted investments for additional tech seats, increasing funding, and access to paid co-ops and work-integrated learning program opportunities for students, and expanding seats for healthcare assistance, spaces, and early childhood education. Dr. Burns, this government will continue to provide for you with the tools and resources that Langara College needs to be successful. The ability for Langara College to deliver for its students is a direct function of the culture here and its adaptness to steering into and successfully overcoming challenges. I will leave everyone today with some wise words of wisdom inspired by Dr. Burns herself. And she says, and I was inspired by her, "Challenges we face can be uncomfortable, but I am grateful for them as they are also great learning experiences. My intention is to always use them as opportunity to connect, listen, strengthen relationships through respect, providing opportunities for responsibility and support as needed, and empowering people through accountability. Langara, these are the words of kindness and strength and dedication from your new president. Congratulations to Dr. Burns and to Langara College. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Minister Kang, for your words and for taking the time to join us today. I'd now like to invite Michael Lee, MLA Vancouver Langara, to bring greetings.
Well, good morning. I want to say on behalf of the Vancouver Langara community, for which I represent as the local MLA, welcome to all of the guests here to be part of the community here on the territory of the Musqueam. Appreciate the presence of Chief Wayne Sparrow and all of the honored guests here on the platform to witness this important occasion. We have been through a very difficult time as a community, through the pandemic, through the other challenges that have faced our community here. And I know that Langara College, through the leadership in the past, from the board, from the past presidents like Lane Schroeder, Yusuf Arachia, and others, that Langara College has built a foundation that we are all very proud of. As I communicate to other members of the Legislative Assembly, like my good colleague, Minister Ann Kang, we know the importance of the leadership of snəw, leləm, the name of this institution, the House of Teachings. We have so much to learn from each other and from the Musqueam peoples. I'm also the critic for Indigenous Relations and Reconciliation. At this time, when we see the experience, the background of Dr. Paula Burns, what she brings to this institution, I'm very excited about the possibilities ahead of us. I know that with the staff and the faculty here, we have a lot of work in front of us. And over the last number of years, to continue the good work of Langara College, to connect with community. When I talk to Dr. Burns about community, I know that that is something that she's very passionate about. This place is so important to the pathways and the journeys of students. As we go into Convocation Week next week, we will see the fruits of the labors of the faculty and staff here and the students, the work they've done, particularly over the last 2 years. But as we create and continue to strengthen the relationships around community, that is something that I look forward to doing with Dr. Burns and her leadership team here. We know we've seen a lot of challenge and a lot of polarization in our communities, in our country, and our province. We have to create a better understanding. Langara College has a fundamental place in our community to do that. Centered here in Vancouver, Langara, on the Canada line, with over 85% of the students arriving by public transit. You are there as a pathway to great institutions that are represented here on the stage as well, like UBC, SFU, Queen's University, and others. The importance of continued lifelong learning is the pathway that Langara College sets here. But for the community understanding, we know that building a more inclusive community, in terms of the initiatives that I've done in the past, as well as local MLA, that is so important. So again, congratulations, Dr. Burns. I look forward to working with Langara College and the good work that we need to do ahead of us, including with the Musqueam peoples. Congratulations again.
Thank you, MLA Lee, for your greetings. I now invite Michael Jaworski, Chair of Langara Board of Governors, to say a few words.
Thank you, Krisha. Wow, those are two tough acts to follow. Dr. Burns, representatives of the board, members of the faculty and staff, honored guests, good morning. On behalf of the Board of Governors, it's my honor and privilege to welcome you to snəw, eyəڵ, leləm, Langara College, to formally install our fourth president and chief executive officer, Dr. Paula Burns. As you know, the college has many identities. It has been known as Langara College since 1994, And in 2016, the college was honored with the name snəw, eyəڵ, leləm, or House of Teachings in the Hunkaminam language, by Musqueam, on whose unceded territory the college is located. We also identify ourselves as the College of Higher Learning and Canada's premier pathways college. All of these names and identities, in my mind, come together to inform the mission of the college, which is to provide diverse learners with an academic and experiential foundation for further education, for career success, for their professional development and their personal development. And fulfilling this mission, I feel, is especially critical now because, as Emily Lee noted, this is a very challenging time for our community. We're emerging from the worldwide pandemic, and we face rapid change in every part of the college and our technological, social, economic, political, physical, you name it, all those environments. But of course, there's also a great hope and an equally great expectation that we will rise to meet these challenges, so that our chapter of history may be filled with stories of compassion, cooperation, sustainability, and truth and meaningful reconciliation. And that is why I'm so excited to welcome Dr. Burns to the college. She brings a wealth of experience, a proven track record of strategic leadership, and personal values that are closely aligned with our own. Dr. Burns is extraordinarily well-positioned to drive the college forward and fulfill our mission. I know how dedicated she is to engaging with our community and ensuring that we offer an accessible and transformative educational experience for lifelong learners. And she is particularly passionate upon building upon the college's commitment to welcome and support Indigenous students for the entirety of their educational journey. Finally, Dr. Burns champions collaboration, and I know she will earn the trust of the Langara community, the post-secondary community at large, and of course the broader community that we are all a part of, and all by doing what she does best, which is listening, learning, and leading. Dr. Burns, on behalf of the Board of Governors of snəw, eyəڵ, leləm, Langara College, we look forward to working with you in the years to come. Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. It's now my pleasure to present the installation of Dr. Paula Burns, our fourth president and chief executive officer. In just a moment, I would like to invite Dr. Joan MacArthur Blair, friend and colleague of Dr. Burns, to the podium to introduce our new president. Dr. MacArthur Blair, co-president of Cockle MacArthur Blair Consulting, is an inspirational writer, speaker, and facilitator. She believes positive leadership matters in the world, and all of her work is around enabling and fostering that generative possibility. Joan specializes in the use of appreciative inquiry and appreciative resilience to foster leadership development, strategic planning, and innovative strategies for organizational and team development. She has co-authored Appreciative Inquiry in Higher Education, a Transformative Force in 2020, and Building Resilience with Appreciative Inquiry, a leadership journey through hope, despair, and forgiveness in 2018. Joan?
Good morning, everyone. Board chair, podium guests, honored partners, and all that have come today to celebrate the installation of Dr. Paula Burns. I get to do something special this morning. I get to introduce my friend and colleague and tell you the story of Paula Burns as I have come to know her over the last 20+ years. snəw, eyəڵ, leləm, of course, means house of teaching. And you have brought a teacher to lead this institution. In education, nothing is more powerful than teaching and learning and the ways in which we understand the world around us. And Paula cares about teaching and learning. I have known Paula for many, many years, and her quest for knowledge and her drive to share and add to that knowledge is a powerful thing to be around. She believes in the powerful work that colleges do, whether they're there at the beginning of careers, as pathways to future education, or as a place to polish and repolish skills over a lifetime. She herself started her journey in a community college in London, Ontario, something we both share, our undergraduate work and our college work there. We didn't know each other then, and I wish we had. She started off, of course, as a respiratory therapist, graduating from Fanshawe College. She didn't stop there, and those who know her know that she's kind of an unstoppable force. She earned a Bachelor in Science, a Master's in Education, capped that off with a doctorate in education and a final MBA. The doctorate, of course, because that's where Paula's passion lies, and the MBA because she's an entrepreneur as well as an educator. Paula has this rare ability to see the future, and perhaps this is the place where Paula and I spend most of our conversations. I can't tell you the number of times I have sat with Paula and we have unwrapped a problem, trying to find the opportunity inside. It is magic that she brings to her work, that leaning into the future and saying, I wonder if we could do this. As with many people in your life that you care about, sometimes you're not quite sure when you met them. I think it might have been at a conference for Colleges and Institutes Canada, and it started out this interweaving support of leadership journeys in our lives, working with each other, sitting on boards together. I'd love to tell you about Paula's volunteer work, but that would take all morning. But know that she spent time volunteering in education, the arts, in leadership, in training, in the support of the environment. She gives every day in the ways in which she can in her community, and you'll see that here in this one. Everywhere I've been in her orbit and watched how she interacts has told me how she cares about her work, both paid and unpaid. So I want to talk about caring for a minute. If you spend any time around Paula, you know that she's a bit circumspect, perhaps even a bit introverted. One could even say shy. But within that coolly dressed, trendy glass-wearing, highly styled hair exterior is a heart that cares about every person who's with her, every student that enters the door, and every colleague that runs alongside her. And of course, her caring extends out into the world to her 4 accomplished children and her life partner, Donna. I've had the opportunity to work with Paula on several projects in her time at Lethbridge College while she was president there. I got to watch from up close how she fostered the ideas of those around her. It's never about Paula. It's about us. She pushed for innovation with people around expansion of research areas like virtual and augmented reality. She worked with others to create real relationships with the First Nations in that community. She launched with the board an amazingly ambitious strategic plan. She built the capacity to expand the college. She worked with agriculture to find new ways of doing things, and so much more. Paula has 2 magical qualities. One is seeing the future, but that is not enough. The other is gathering folks around her to help make that future come to life. But I think that was kind of all the serious part, Paula. So I wanted to say a couple of things about Paula that I know. One is cycling. Simply put, she's a maniac. One year, we both entered the Tour de Victoria bike race. Now, you need to understand there was the slow category, me, and the athletic category, Paula. I raced very slowly for 15 kilometers, and I think Paula raced very fast for about 100 kilometers. We finished at the same time. I mention cycling because it reflects what a colleague said about her. She's gritty, determined, a bit of a wild child, and she gets it done. And I know she carries this determination to every single thing she does. I tried to reach out to past colleagues and said, you know, tell me a couple of quirky things about Paula. You know, it's hard to find quirky things about Paula. She kind of just is what she is. But we got talking about the socks. And we decided that Paula's socks are kind of like the Queen's brooches. They reflect mood, and we deeply think they have hidden meaning that we haven't quite figured out. All that said, Paul and I have known each other a long time, and I can't tell you what an honor it is today to say these few words about my friend, my colleague, your new president, Dr. Paula Burns. Thank you.
Thank you, Joan. At this time, I invite Michael Jaworski, Board Chair, to administer the oath of office to Dr. Burns.
All right. I call upon Dr. Burns. Please come forward. You are about to be formally installed as the 4th president of snəw, eyəл, leləm, Langara College. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Do you, Paula Burns, pledge that you will, to the best of your ability, truly and faithfully carry out the duties and exercise the powers of the office of President and Chief Executive Officer of snəw, eyəl, leləm, Langara College?
I accept the office of President and Chief Executive Officer with all its duties and privileges.
Dr. Burns, I now install you as the President, in the office of President and Chief Executive Officer of snəw, eyəl, leləm, with the authority, responsibilities, and honors that pertain to this high office. Congratulations. Now we will invest you with the robes of office. So here we go. So
It's a bit of a process. Yeah, we'll stop there.
So this will be an exercise. You have to go in and over. And then, oops, there. And the tam.
Excellent. Well, I think there's a couple of snaps too. Yeah.
And now I present to you Dr. Paula Burns, President and CEO of Langara College. Thank you again, Paula.
I now invite Musqueam Indian Band representatives, Chief Wayne Sparrow, Special Advisor to the President Gail Sparrow, and President of the International Indigenous Hip Hop Awards, and Murdered and Missing Indigenous Women, Girls, and Two-Spirit People Social Policy Planner for the City of Vancouver, Christy Charles, to make a presentation in honor of Dr. President Burns' installation.
eyəł, my CMs. My name is Gail Sparrow. I'm the Special Advisor, Indigenous Studies to the new President, Paula Burns. I have to say something before we start. I've never met her, it's my first time. But all the introductions, they filmed her like she was really tall. And so my first impression was, when Lane Trotter was very tall also, so I was looking up to him. So I thought, here comes another one, I have to look up to somebody. And I realized when I met her and seen her, she's going to be eye to eye to me. So that's great. We are planning also another blessing from Musqueam. Her robe will be touched with our design later on. That will take place. And maybe we'll put a bike on there. We're not sure. But that will happen later. One of the other traditions we will bless her with a name. Naming is one of honor, and snəw with leləm is house of teaching, so it was blessed from Musqueam. I want to acknowledge that Christy Charles' late father, Henry Charles, was the one that led the way to naming the college House of Teachings. And he was my colleague that worked with me until he passed a few years ago, and it was a great loss to us. So it's an honor to have Christy, his daughter, blanketing, and with my brother, Wayne Sparrow. Wayne is the baby of the family. He has 6 girls, sisters that are older than him, so he follows the way of the matriarch society in our community. So he's the baby brother, the sitting chief. We'll be doing today is blanketing Dr. Paula Burns. This blanket is a commercial design. It's called Tet. It means mother, which is appropriate because she will be the mother of the college. It was designed and made by my sisters, Deborah Sparrow and Robin Sparrow, who are master weavers. I never did master the art of weaving. I just weave it alone because I can't touch any kind of artwork. But we will blanket her in the blanket of meaning mother, and it's called Tet. So she will be our Tet until we get the appropriate name. And that note, my brother, Chief Wayne Sparrow, Christy Charles, and I will blanket Dr. Paula Burns in the Tet blanket, mother blanket. And there we have our Tet, the mother of Langara College, Dr. Paula Burns.
On behalf of Langara College, thank you for honoring our president with this blanketing. We value our relationship with Musqueam, and we really appreciate your participation today. I'm now pleased to invite Coastal Wolfpack to the stage for a special performance. Thank you, Coastal Wolfpack, for your time today and for that very meaningful performance. I now ask President Burns to give her address.
Hajka, thank you. Honored guests, family and friends, colleagues, thank you for coming to share in this day. I am grateful to be standing here before you on the traditional, ancestral, unceded territory of the Musqueam people. As you can see today, it's a very big part of who we are at Langara to be part of this land. I am moved and humbled to be honored with the blanketing ceremony, the performance of Coastal Wolfpack. Thank you, Chief Sparrow, to Gail, and to Christy for all that you have done. Until recently, I lived and benefited from the traditional territory of the Siksikapi people and learned so much from them, including a respect and commitment to the responsibility we carry for truth and reconciliation. I look forward to learning from all of you in the coming months and years ahead. I'm honored to stand here this morning as the one chosen to be the president and CEO of snəw, eyəл leləm. Mr. Kang, thank you for being here today. It's my privilege to partner with you and our colleagues in strengthening the BC post-secondary system. snəw, eyəl leləm is a vibrant, people-focused college whose vision is to be Canada's premier pathway college, and I am thrilled to be part of it. I feel welcomed by my new Langara colleagues, and I'm excited to begin weaving a shared future with you. Family, friends, colleagues from near and far, thank you again for taking the time to be with us here today. To my family members, Donna, Darby, Scott and Jason are here as well. To my children who I hope are watching online. If not, they'll be sent the video link. Thank you for all your support. Donna for adventuring with me in the move across the mountains, your belief in me and your support for me. Joan, you inspire me to follow my passions and dreams, and I was thrilled that you agreed to come and speak a little bit about me and sort of what I've done in my career. And a special shout out to all my colleagues and friends from Alberta, British Columbia, and even the Yukon. I'm only beginning to get to know snəw, eyəl leləm, but I know the college's success is built on quality programs, care for students, and a desire to see and create a pathway for every learner. I'm excited to be joining a college with a rich history of being accessible to all learners and creating pathways to further education and employment. From our university transfer and career programs to our continuing studies, we support the success of learners. And we're an integral component of the social, economic, and environmental growth in British Columbia. I have learned very quickly the strength of the values at Langara College, the entire community. They are a foundation that inspire and really propel that vision of becoming Canada's premier pathway college. At snəw, eyəl leləm, we value excellence, collegiality, innovation, and integrity. As a result, we're open to new ideas and new approaches, new technologies, just new ways of doing things. We create opportunities and we solve problems by collaborating with respect and dignity and acting with honesty and integrity. After just a short time here, for those of you who don't know, it's only my second week on campus, but it's been abundantly clear to me that the college would not be what it is today without the commitment of all of its employees. We recognize the future of this college is in our hands. And let me just pause for a minute and say, I'm humbled to have the opportunity for the second time in my career to provide leadership to a vibrant, thriving college committed to student success. I do lead out of my passion for leadership, learning, and relationship. I believe we're all leaders, and we're all responsible for the environment we create for ourselves and for our colleagues. The greatest gift we can give ourselves is to be open to learning new things every day, I've always had a passion for learning. And I work best when I'm connected with those around me. It is my true pleasure to provide leadership to move snəw, eyəл, Langara College forward, to help write the next important chapters of its history. I am committed to taking the solid foundation built by this engaged community and expanding it further. We will embrace and maximize the talents of individuals and the college as a whole, creating a culture of strength-based collaborative leadership throughout. As your leader, I will nurture a culture of trust that encourages every person here to work from their passion and strength. And some of you will know I'm also someone who's known to embrace change. I came to a new province, British Columbia, following a major upheaval in society due to a pandemic. You know, if you think looking for a new job is hard, think about it during a pandemic. What I found was there was a lot going on. Minister Kang, we know that the BC Economic Plan launched in February, public post-secondary funding review, these do not happen very often, was launched in April. The Future Skills Plan development to address a predicted shortage of at least 1 million workers in British Columbia is under development. And I see a society that's rightfully focused on truth and reconciliation, equity, diversity, and inclusion, and sustainability. So now is our time to shine. snəw, eyəл, Langara College has a huge opportunity to show leadership in creating a more just, equitable, and environmentally and economically sustainable future for BC. And we'll do that by focusing on our core, which is providing diverse learners with an academic and experiential foundation to further education, career success, and professional and personal development. As guests on the Musqueam land, it starts with an unwavering commitment to our role in truth and reconciliation. Acting in service of our Indigenous learners, we must foster learning experiences that are consistent with their ways of knowing and being, and in fact, deepen our own understanding of ways of knowing and being of First Nations people. I feel we are still growing into our gifted name of snəw, eyəl, House of Teachings. We will continue to learn from the teaching of our elders to understand our role in the actions of truth and reconciliation. In recent years, we've also begun to acknowledge our collective responsibility for the injustices and inequities faced by racialized and LGBTQ2S+ people. The appointment of our first Director of Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion reflects our commitment to this work, and I look forward to the part we at Langara College will play in contributing to a more just, equitable, diverse, and inclusive society. snəw, eyəl is a contributor to economic growth and recovery. As I mentioned, we're accessible to all learners. We provide pathways to education and careers. We embrace innovation, and we are helping to meet the changing needs of the BC economy. We will continue to grow our applied research program by developing new relationships and partnerships and helping our communities and businesses solve real-world problems. We have outstanding faculty at Langara whose expertise will contribute to solving some real issues. And our students will engage in experiential learning that is timely and relevant. It has never been more apparent than now that we need to act to slow and mitigate our climate crisis. It's on all of us at Langara College to continually strengthen our commitment to that, including lowering our carbon infrastructure on campus. We do some amazing things here around reducing our carbon footprint. Our students and our communities expect this of us. So, as you can see, there's lots to be done. Together, though, we will be collaborators, keeping the positive experience of our learners at the heart of all we do. It's my experience that we all work better when we feel a deep connection to those around us, and indeed, a purpose that's outside of ourselves. It's my intention, as snəw, leləm, Langara College's new president, to strengthen our shared connection to the college's strategic direction and the kaleidoscope approach of the academic plan, not only in service to our students, but to enhance our sense of fulfillment and belonging as members of this community. We will create the future together with curiosity, creativity, and innovation. We will nurture a culture of student engagement through all of the curricular activities, work-integrated learning, service to our community, and through applied research. We will serve our communities by teaching and modeling our shared duty for truth and reconciliation, for social justice, for equity, diversity, inclusion, and for sustainability. So in closing, I do reflect on how the last 2 years have taught us about resiliency. And we are going to use what we have learned about ourselves, about our learners, about our partners in the community to weave a shared future. Langara will be the first choice for learners who want to believe in themselves and make education part of their journey. Learners will come to us who want to create a better future for themselves and for their communities. The call to action is for me and for all of us, that we recognize the gift of time that we are in, that we are at the forefront of what our province needs. So let's utilize our skills and expertise to contribute to that shared future that's built on curiosity, that's built on innovation and built on creativity. We must believe and trust in each other. Let's embrace this unique time for snəw, leləm to look up and out to all of our partners and to co-create new ways to collaborate. And let's share that story with the world, recognizing that we are all learners on a path together. Thank you.
Thank you, President Burns. As we bring today's ceremony to a close, I'd like to take a moment to thank Alec Dan, who led our procession, Faith Sparrow Crawford, who sang O Canada, Chief Wayne Sparrow, Gail Sparrow, and Christy Charles, who brought the blanketing, and Coastal Wolfpack for their performance. I would also like to extend our appreciation to the many college employees whose contributions have made this such a memorable event. It's also my pleasure, on behalf of the college, to invite you to a reception at the back of Ceremony Hall immediately after this ceremony. Would you please rise and remain standing until the platform party members have left Ceremony Hall? I now declare this installation ceremony closed.